Men don't talk. And this is something that we have to look at. They're taught to be a man and internalize everything. And then on top of that, us women, we have never learned, we were never taught what it means to create the atmosphere for your man to open up himself to you. And so, in times and moments where your man opens up himself to you, it's very hard for you to receive it. In fact, in a moment where you were upset at him, angry at him, mad at him, you used that information that he gave you, which was so sacred, against him. It was a slap to his face. And now you're asking yourself, why doesn't he talk? Why?
She's making a lot of valid points. I think that's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So I wanted to put both of us in the situation, but right now we're going to speak about the women who are doing this. Men are not emotional. So when they start to share information about their feelings, you must in your head, oh, he must really love me to do that. Because they're not just going to be saying this to anybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Unless they're just being vulnerable and dumb. But if they are just with you and y'all by yourself, y'all in the house or whatever, in the car, whatever, and he's expressing everything to you, you must listen, respect what he's saying, and be that person, a voice of reason. Do a little prayer, whatever it is that you like to do to make him feel like he was heard. That's it. Just like you like to be feel heard, he wants to feel heard, like he was heard as well. And then after that, what she's saying at the end is that now y'all mad, y'all having an argument, and you throw it back at him. Yeah. So I think a lot of people actually do that,
yeah,
and I think all men and women do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to just be mindful. You know what I'm saying? One time but just be mindful that you don't do that. And you have to understand that you want men to open up to you. That's how you know you got them. You feel me?
Yeah. And men, and like I said earlier, you have to be more vocal. You have to set the standard. If you're not trying to set that standard in that relationship, that foundation, that relationship is going to be weak. So honestly, I wouldn't be trying to depend on a lot of ladies for this shit to change. It's going to have to start with us being real with you. So let's get it with it.
Doesn't he want to speak to me? Why isn't he going the same way that he did before? So we have to learn how to create the atmosphere for a man to open up himself to us. But it's imperative that we know that this atmosphere comes from within. This is something that comes from within the woman. And if the woman is always focusing on the fact that her man is not talking to her, she'll neglect her own self.
That's true. So to create the atmosphere, I don't know if she's going to say it or not. She's kind of getting there. You just have to not be like yelling, bickering. They say nagging, or I don't know these new words today, but just don't be doing all that.
Yeah.
Like if, let's say y'all both work, because I think most people are working both today. So y'all both work, y'all both come home. Don't have so many expectations, especially if you never had a conversation. You're expecting him to do things. Okay. Don't expect nothing unless you spoke about it and y'all agreed on it. I think that some women think that men are supposed to do certain things when sometimes men are just going to be men and men going to do men stuff. And it's not going to be what we're thinking about. So if you are expecting him to, I'm just saying, wash the dishes. I'm not saying all men don't wash dishes, but there are some men that don't really, go and do that. So if you're expecting him to do all of these things, have a conversation. Hey, I'm a little tied up at work on these days. Do you mind if, you take this part of the situation, whatever. And then see how that conversation goes. He's not going to say no and be disrespectful because you asked him. You have to be respectful asking, respectful bringing it up, having suggestions. That's all it's about. When you're in a relationship, it's about togetherness. But you can't expect him to have all of these things going on because he is still going to be a man and do what men do, right? So you still have to have that conversation. That is where the peace comes in at. Now you and him are peaceful. So that's the atmosphere that she's talking about. A peaceful atmosphere.
Exactly. Hey, what's up, TJ Q? DJ Q? Q? Is it Cuba?
Cuda. Hey, what's up?
What's going on, bro? They said, yeah, peace, man. Men should be more vocal, but also tactful. Facts. It said the best trait both can have in a relationship is problem-solving skills. Peace.
Yes. Hey,
appreciate
now that is it. Problem-solving skills. Yeah, I know,
tactful,
like
that tactful. Man,
and the tactful.
That's the perfect word to use, man. So great comment.
the problem solving skills, if you think about like, anything, you have to problem solve, but is it chaotic when you're trying to problem solve, or you're sitting down thinking and you're brainstorming and you're like, okay, these are 3 different scenarios or whatever, but in a more peaceful way with your man. That's how it should be. And if you don't know, ask him. Let him figure it out. But it's still like, you guys are not bickering.
Exactly. Let's get back to
We'll
it.
be able to look within ourselves and say, hold on a second. Am I creating the atmosphere? Is the atmosphere, is home coming from within me?